So I had never really even thought of the idea of making digital video look like film until Dehancer sent me an email and asked me to review their film emulation. Now that I've tested it out, I can definitely say I'll be using it much more in the future. So in this video, I'm just going to be reviewing it and trying to use it to make a clip look like film. They said I could say whatever I want about it, so it's not like I have to say anything good about it. I'm just going to say my personal opinion. So first of all, I'm just going to go into DaVinci Resolve and take this clip I took on a recent trip. So now I'm in the color panel and I'm just going to make a new node, and that will be the node I put Dehancer on. Just try to ignore that background noise. It's because the fan inside this laptop is going crazy, because this isn't exactly meant for what I'm using it for, but it'll be fine. So this first node is just for white balance adjustments, just in case if I put something on in the Dehancer plugin, I'll need to change something, so that's what I'll have that there for. Okay, so I'm just going to click effects right here, and I'm going to search Dehancer, and then I'll just drag it right onto my node. Alright, so right here this is Dehancer, and this is all the stuff inside of it, and there are more things, more drop downs you can click, so there's a lot of stuff you can do in Dehancer. So first of all, I was not shooting in logs, so I won't need any of this stuff right here, like selecting my camera and the format and stuff like that you'd normally do in a more professional situation. But for this example, I'm just going to go on to the rest of the things Dehancer has to offer. So as you can see, a lot of things are selected right here, like it says enabled, and a lot of that. So right now, I'm just going to start from the top and kind of work my way down, making adjustments. So I'm going to change the film profile just to see what looks good. Right, so we got Kodak Portra 160, Portra 400. I kind of like that Kodak Pro Image 100. I don't know, it just kind of looks good. Oh wait, but this one kind of looks good too. You know, since there's so many to choose from, I'm just going to go back to the original one I had. I'm pretty sure this is it, and even if it's not, I'm just going to use it anyway. So I'm just going to mess with this slider right here. Okay, so it looks like that kind of makes it, changes the exposure a little bit and the shadows. I'm going to put it a little bit more, but not too much. Now I'm going to go to the film developer and color boost up. What does that do? Now let me put it down a little bit. Wait, I'm so stupid, it's not even enabled.
Bruh.
Okay, so now let me just put the color boost up a little bit and then down. I'm just going to put it maybe like take it from the beginning and then just drag it up a tiny bit. So I kind of want to add some halation, which just basically takes all the highlights and it puts this little orange glow around the highlights and it ends up looking super cool. But first I have to change the film grain. So right now, before I change the film grain, this is what we're looking at. This is our image right here, and it is looking pretty good so far. And I also forgot to mention that you can use Dehancer in the edit page. Literally all you have to do is search for the effect and just drag it onto the clip, and all these controls and sliders will be on the side. And that's actually super cool because, I mean, I'm not that good in the color page, so I think it's really cool that you can use it in the edit page too. Okay, so now I'm going to do the film grain. I'm just going to enable it right here, and now I can choose which film profile I want for the film grain. Let me try 35mm ISO 250. That looks pretty good, and I kind of want this clip to be like more dramatic than usual. Like, I don't just want to do a subtle film look. I want it to be more dramatic. So I'm going to amplify it to maybe like 60, yeah, 60 should be good, around there. You know, that looks a little bit too dramatic, and I know I said I wanted it to be dramatic, but a little bit less would probably be better. So something that I realized is if you want to add a bunch of things, like halation, bloom, film damage, all that, it starts really slowing down your computer, and the process will just take a lot longer. So I would suggest, like, maybe only turning on a couple of them. It'd make your workflow a lot easier. But I know that out of all these things down here, halation is probably the one I want most in this shot, because as you can see on the front of the truck right here, there's going to be some halation and that orange glow, so that'll look really cool. Let me enable it and then hit mask mode to see where it's going to be. And yep, it's right around that front of the truck mostly. I'll try 35mm, this one right here. Okay, so that's a lot, so I'm going to turn it down a good bit. Turn off mask mode and maybe turn it up a little bit now. Okay, so I have it at 63, and that looks super cool. So Bloom basically takes the highlights, and it's almost like a pro mist filter in the way that it just makes them more almost as if there's a hazy glow around it, and it looks really cool. But just because of the fact that I don't want it to slow anything down, I'm not going to add Bloom, and honestly it wouldn't be that great in this shot. So now as we come down here, I might actually add some film damage. Let me try it. You know, I'm going to turn that off. And of course, the things I'm doing, it's not like you have to do these things when you use Dehancer, just because these are the things that I think would look best in this shot. Okay, so now one of the coolest parts I think about it, I know you can do this with other things, but it's super easy. You can use this overscan thing, so if you just click enable right here, it gives it even more of that film look. And you can change tons of things about it, like how big it looks in here. You can change what type it is, of course. So you can have it like this widescreen mode, or just this, which you see this kind of thing in a lot of videos. And you can change a lot of things about it, like you can flip it right here, and now it's on the other side, so if you wanted to do that, you could. There are a lot of different sliders and things in this overscan mode which can change everything about it. Like you can change the edges of the thing, how big it is, and this is really cool, but it makes it kind of too small to see. I'm just going to show you right here. This is what it looks like, and honestly, I think I'm basically done. And down here you can also use this vignette, and there's tons of other things. There's even more things that I didn't even see before. Wow. So I don't think I would ever select all of these and enable all of them. First of all, it'd probably just be too much in the shot, and second of all, I just think that it'd probably slow down the computer and slow down DaVinci Resolve overall. So this is what it looks like without, and then with the overscan on. So I'm going to turn it off just so you can see a wider view of what the truck looks like. So this is what it looks like, and I'll put up a before and after on screen right now. I think I'm about done, but I am just going to go check to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me enable this defringe right here. So I'm actually going to take this temperature slider right here, and down here makes it way too blue, and up here makes it way too warm. So I'm going to take this and drag it a tiny bit down. Actually a little bit up, just like, I just want it barely down, just to cool it off a tiny bit. So I'm just going to mess with this a little bit. Add some contrast, take some contrast away, that's way too much. It looks really cool. It really gives it that film look. So now I'm going to talk about the price of it. So it's pretty expensive, and I don't think that the average person would want to buy the lifetime Dehancer Pro just because of how expensive it is, but there are a couple things you can do to make the price lower. First of all, you can use my discount code ZACH10 for a 10% off discount on your purchase, and second of all, you could just buy, say you wanted to just buy the film grain or just buy the halation. You could buy one of those, and for a lifetime version of those, it's much, much cheaper than Dehancer Pro. So I think it's definitely a great tool you can use, but as I said before, I don't think a lot of people are going to be needing Dehancer Pro, especially because of the price, and because DaVinci Resolve has other film emulations you can use. One of them is free in the free version, and one of them isn't, as you can see right here, as film damage and film grain. So I'll put the link to Dehancer in the description below. Thank you so much, Dehancer, for letting me try this out. It definitely levels up the way your video looks, especially if you want that more rustic old feel. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.